Before we dive in, a quick shout out to the community that makes this possible. This show is brought to you by the You Run Podcast Network, a space where everyone is heard, loved and welcomed. To support the creators and find your next favourite show, please visit yourunpodcast.com.
You want to die tonight?
Late at night, I tune into your show, where you talk horror with a unique flow. Your voice is like sirens, draws me in, as you pick apart movies on murder and sin. Scott and Mark set the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's fucking long roundups. You run podcast, horror movie review, sharing facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after you fled. You run podcast. You run podcast.
Guaranteed to jack you up.
Hello, welcome to the You Run Podcast Horror Movie Review. My name is Scott.
My name is Mark.
You all right there?
I'm all out of sorts tonight, mate, to be honest with you. I've literally got in from work like an hour ago. I've rushed my tea, rushed a shower, and I've literally just sat down and jumped on. So I'm not quite in there yet, but give me 5 minutes, I'll catch up.
Okay, shall we highlight your new seating arrangement? Because you do look like you're about to watch this movie in the cinema.
Honestly, everything around me, this is the best I could make it look on the screen, but at the moment it's fucking chaos in here. The computer's in a new place, I've had to set the mic up in a new place, and I've literally done it with 30 seconds to spare, so I'm really on edge that things are going to start falling over around me.
I really hope they do, because then I can release a blooper reel.
If ever there was to be a blooper reel for the show, it would happen tonight. There's just stuff everywhere, man. I daren't move for noise.
It's funny though, because like I can see there's a bag there that says VHS on it. There's a Blockbuster bag. There's a Michael Myers head. You're sat on cinema seats. Like,
yes,
they're classy. I like those.
They're cool. I picked these up on Facebook Marketplace. It took a lot of cleaning, but they are cool. And I'm thankfully they had like a load for sale, and I got seat numbers 1 and number 2. Which I don't know why that matters, but to me it did. I didn't want to have just like a random number 8 and 12 or something like that. So I've got 1 and 2, which is cool. You
could have picked up seat 3 and 4 and given them to your friend, who could have then also sat on some.
I mean, she might still have them, and you are coming up soon. If you want me to, I can arrange to pick up another set.
We'll talk about it off air. Anyway, we are a horror movie review podcast where you pick the movies. It's fully interactive. You get to call in, you get to do interactive features, you get to play games. From time to time, we have guests, which we do today. We also do early drops of this episode, which you can get almost a week early on our Patreon. Today, we've got a really, really cool movie to talk about. Like, really cool movie. We're diving into The Faculty from 1998, and it's strange because we mentioned it on an episode about 5 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden it's like manifested its way onto the show.
Yeah. I'm glad it's here. It was part of my pick. Was it my poll pick, this one?
It was your poll pick. Yeah, you picked all the movies, and we ended up with The Faculty.
Yeah, there was some pretty good stuff in that poll as well. But no, I'm glad this one. It's a movie that I've wanted on the show for a long, long time. And for some reason, it just doesn't get talked about nearly anywhere near as much as it should.
No, it's one of those that it used to get talked about a lot. I remember it being a really big thing like 10 years ago. Everyone was going, The Faculty this, The Faculty that. And now it's like media silence. It's like everyone's forgotten about it.
Yeah, which is a shame. It's a great movie, which we're going to highlight tonight.
We are. And we're not going to do it alone either. Tonight, we are joined by an innovator in the podcast space, someone who redefines horror analysis. He's got passion. He's got dedication to the world of horror. It's kind of unrivaled, really. He is incredible. Not only that, he is one of the nicest guys I've ever met in the entire horror community. It is our delight to welcome back to the show the one, the only, the amazing BP from the Let's Talk Horror channel.
Straight from the creeps on floor, king of the charts coming back for more.
That was
I
wild.
feel like I need to be like a wrestler now. That needs to be like my wrestling intro. Well, that's the greatest intro I've ever had. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I wanted to make a big thing. It's been ages since you've joined us, and I love having you here. So I wanted to give you like a proper, like, hype you up and make you feel good about.
Well, everybody else is like, "Who the fuck is this twat?" Like.
Thank you so much for coming back on. It's great to have you here. Me, Mark, both. Whenever we're putting together lineups for the guests for the year, it's always, oh, we need this person, we need that person. Either me or Mark will go, we have to have BP back because you're just such a blast to have on.
Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate that muchly, and we get to talk about a fucking 90s gem.
We really do. Like, this is one of those movies that, yeah, we'll just talk about it. But before we do, can you just give everyone a brief overview of Let's Talk Horror Channel?
Well, Let's Talk Horror is just me with some amazing guests like Scott. Mark, I've still got to get you on the show.
I'm a unicorn, my friend. It takes a long time to get me on.
I know. But it will happen. I guarantee.
It will. Yeah, I promise it will. Yeah.
We have to pick that movie that is undeniable. As long as it's not like Halloween 4, that's not happening. But as long as it's like yeah, exactly. We pick that movie that's undeniable, and then we get you on. But of course, Scott is always my resident guest for the Halloween episodes and stuff.
Scott's my agent. He books me in. So if ever Scott's going on holiday and I'm not on holiday at the same time, he usually puts a word out and be like, Mark's got a week off, get in there fast.
That's it. I'll have to get in there. I'll put it in my diary. But yeah, Let's Talk Horror is purely just me trying to do everything I can to have very honest, passionate conversations about horror. Very, very honest. If things are shit, I'll say they're shit. If they're great, I will talk about how great they are. But I love horror. I'm an old man, and I've loved horror my whole life, and that's what Let's Talk Horror is. It's just talking about not just the movies, but what goes into the creating these movies. And I love it. And whatever.
Yeah. We'll tell you more about BP later in the show, and BP will have another chance to plug all of his socials and everything else. But
better
for now,
hopefully.
Well, you've had a practice run now. You can have a couple more beers, and by the end, you'll have it like mastered.
Yeah, hopefully.
Right, as I said, we're covering The Faculty today. This film glorifies cocaine use in school, inappropriate relationships between teachers and students, and also acts as an origin story for Frodo Baggins. We're going to talk about that later. We follow a group of students as they uncover and try to fight basically aliens that have invaded their school, these aquatic parasites. With a cast that contains a who's who of the 90s in the faculty cast. And then the student cast is like a top build list of the early 2000s. Like, this is a dream casting for any movie ever. It's fun. It's fast paced. It's got awesome performances. The story is great. It's really engaging. There's a mixture in here of some really great practical effects and some fucking god-awful CGI, thankfully used really sparingly.
I don't think it's that bad.
No, it's bad.
We'll talk
worse on the show, certainly.
We will talk about freezing / crystallizing alien later. I had a blast watching this. It's been so long since I've watched it, and this is honestly one of my favorite watches of the year. Also, I want to add that Famke Janssen does things to me in every movie she's in, and in this movie, my god,
seriously, like another. We've already spoken about one of my notes at the top before we came on, but my other note is like Famke Janssen, like she's so fucking hot in this movie. It's crazy.
She really is. I love this way more than I remembered. I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. Mark, where do you sit with The Faculty?
I mean, to be honest, there's not a lot you can say about this movie that hasn't already been said. It's an instant 90s classic. It's very much Scream with aliens, in my opinion, written by Kevin Williamson also, and follows pretty much the same beat per beat as most of those movies do. I think the direction's great. I think the cinematography is fantastic. There's a lot to be said about some of the cast members in this movie and the careers that obviously they've gone on to have from starting out in movies like this. I know a lot of them have done things beforehand, and I'm not going to say that The Faculty is by any means the launching pad for their careers, Interestingly enough, Elijah Wood actually auditioned for Lord of the Rings while filming The Faculty. He sent his audition tape in for doing so. But I love this movie. It's one of those that doesn't require an awful lot of attention. It's just a feel-good alien horror movie that you can put on in the background. And there isn't really anything bad you can say about it. I mean, obviously, you can probably pull apart the questionable writing plot hole, shall we say, that pop up from time to time. And again, as you've mentioned, the CGI, which I personally don't think is too bad considering it's 1998. For me, yeah, I think it's a top movie. I've got nothing bad to say about it. I will not be unrealistic though and say that it's a 5 out of 5 movie because it's certainly not, but it is well up there and it's going to get a 4.5 out of from me too.
Yeah, good scores. BP, where do you sit with The Faculty?
Well, this film, I love this film because of like, there's so many different reasons to love this film. For one, of course, like for old people like me, it's the nostalgia of this movie. Like it's one of those movies, a bit like Scream, but not to like nowhere near is it like, you know, in regards to like personally as big of a movie as Scream was. But you know, you like I always get taken back to the time. Every time I watch a movie like this, I'm taken back to the time when I watched this movie. And the great time I had watching it and the great time around it. And of course, so you can be like blinded by nostalgia. But like you've both said, the great thing about this movie is that it's actually a really good movie because you've got a crazy good cast. Like you said, like you've got like, what's great about this movie, and obviously, of course, Scream is a movie that did this very well and some movies didn't. But there is like, this movie never feels overpopulated, even though it's got half the fucking world's population as the cast in this movie. Like, it never feels like any characters really like overstaying their welcome. Like everything, like the chemistry between them, the way that it's written. Of course, you know, like as you already said, Kevin Williamson did the screenplay, so like. All of it works, all of it makes sense. So like you've got the nostalgia side of it, then you've got the fact that it's actually a really good movie, but then you've got the fact that it's like it's taking you back to old school like Invasion of the Body Snatchers and all those old school movies that you would get like in the 40s and 50s and so on. Yeah. You've got like that for, I was going to say like the modern day, but like I still keep thinking like 1999 is like 2 weeks ago, but it's not.
yeah.
But
I'm the same.
you know, yeah, you know what I mean? But it still like, it brings it into that. I mean, I still feel that this film, of course, with the questionable CGI, which I also wrote down, is still shit. The practical effects are great, but I think it still really holds up, this movie, apart from like some of the questionable, like, you know, it's like when we used to say words like dingus and you know what I mean and things like that, you know, like these words don't really necessarily hold up in the modern days, like, you know, words that all these kids are saying now, but they work for me because I'm old, so I can still say them. But yeah, I would say this is still like a solid, like if you're going out of 5, a 4 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, solid scores across the board. Well, let's take a very quick break and then we'll be back and we'll dive into all the good and all of the bad of this movie.
It's Wednesday morning and the vibe is unglued. Hearn Dizzle and E-Bitty in a what the fuck mood. From the arcade floor to the ranking of treats, it's the wild style chaos that'll knock you off your feet. Throw the script in the trash, keep the energy high, cause there's nothing that's crazy passing them by. No filter, no limits, just a loudmouth crew doing exactly what the fuck they wanna do. What the fuck are you?
It's a cinematic ride, total chaos on the mic. Will and JT thrashing tropes that you like. From the jumpscare to the gore, it's a wild style feat. These crazy motherfuckers bringing real movie heat. They're the kings of the scream and the horror review, where the takes are unhinged and the show is too. Yeah, the script's getting binged and the vibes for the streets. Keep it loud, keep it proud with the boys of Dead Beats.
So head over to yourunpodcast.com, check out the Dead Beats podcast and What the Fuck Are You Doing podcast, along with all of the other members of the You Run Podcast Network. On there, you'll also find links to all of our social media channels. If you go to the Instagram one, you get to be able to vote on movies, and Mark is putting his finger up like a kid in class.
I didn't want to interrupt you. Why does he wear a mask?
You need to go and watch the show to find out.
Oh, come on, man.
No, I'll tell you. I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
But yeah, the mask is a permanent feature. So yeah, always in a mask. It's cool. So yeah, go and check out both of those shows. Go and check out all of the other shows on our socials. If you follow the Instagram one, you get to vote on the movies that come on this episode. Across our social media, we're everywhere. We're at You Run Podcast. If you don't want to go to our website, we're also on every single podcast platform and YouTube and Rumble and Patreon. And if you go to Patreon, you get early releases of this episode, you get early releases of True Crime, you get early drops of Voices with the You Run podcast, you also get exclusives, you also get additional episodes, you also get 2 brand new shows. You get You Run Extra and True Crime Extra. The last You Run Extra was strange. Me and Mark went on a tangent about Patrick Wilson for 25 minutes.
Yep. That was an odd episode, I'll be honest.
It was. We have voicemails about it later.
Okay.
The patron who requested that has given a review of our thoughts on Pat. They've reviewed the episode basically.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we'll cover that later. So yeah, go and do all those wonderful things. Also review, share, do all the great things that allow us to reach more people and to grow the show. And that is it for this advertisement. I'm going to kick off how this opens because I love the cold open to this. This teacher, like just seeing the T-1000 chase down a teacher is fucking awesome.
He runs like the T-1000 as well in this movie. Full fingers, arms stretched. It's.
I think it's just the way he runs. Like
I don't think nobody runs like the T-1000. He was. I feel like that was a bit.
Do you think?
I think
I sort of feel like it, but then it's almost like one of those things where it's like do the run, like do the run. You know what I mean? Like you've got to do it.
Robert
like,
Rodriguez was behind the camera and he was like, "Do the run. You know you want to do the run. Do the run."
You can imagine Robert Rodriguez getting a fucking absolute kick out of it,
Oh,
and also Robert Patrick is so fucking good in this movie.
Yeah. His rapey presence at the beginning is alarming.
It is, and that pencil through the hand is fucking incredible practical effects. It looks awesome. Yeah. What I like about that is he stabs her, like brutally stabs her through the hand. He's like, "I've always wanted to do that." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, he's so good. He's just one of those. I think, like, I don't know. I was going to say, like, he never feels like he was really utilized as much as he should have been. But then also, he's in a shitload of movies and TV shows. So yeah, I was fucking wrong. He is. He's in a load.
He got
of shit.
downgraded, didn't he, to like straight to video sequels?
Yeah, that's it. Like Dusk Till Dawn 2 and things like that. 2, you know,
yeah.
But like he is somebody that like you see it in the Terminator, like obviously 2 and stuff like that. But he's really like in this movie, he's almost playing like 2 different versions of the character, isn't he? He's like the fucking like douchebag coach and stuff like that. But then obviously like what makes people start thinking that shit's going wrong is because then he has that more like the calmness of the T-1000, you know. I've always been a really big fan of Robert Patrick because I think he's so intimidating, but then also at the same time, like you can imagine him being a pretty good dad.
Yeah. He comes across. Do you know? It wasn't almost wasn't him. It was almost Bill Paxton. So
I mean, I wouldn't be annoyed if it was Bill Paxton.
No.
I think
the problem for Robert Patrick is he's really struggled to shake the T-1000 persona. You know, I think the role was so iconic that it's difficult for anybody else to see him as anything other, you know?
Yeah, which again is probably why Robert Rodriguez went, "Do the run."
Yeah,
exactly.
Do it now. I wanted to, this opening segment where we get this cold open and then like people have died and Carrie White's mum's there fucking stabbing people up, which just caught me off guard. But then you get this opening like teen school montage.
Yeah,
like
I hate the fucking text on the screen.
I love it. I think it's perfect.
It does my head in. It's too Robert Rodriguez for me.
The flash, like you see,
guaranteed to fuck you up. Pause. Zeke, whatever his fucking name is.
Zeke, man. Yeah, it's cool though. But I like stuff like that because for me, with a movie like this, which is just a basic viewing, you know what I mean? It's a no. You don't need to give it too much attention. And the fact that cue cards like this, especially with such a bloated cast, I feel are very important. It also eliminates basic setup because it's all done in quick succession in a freeze frame moment like this. I think it's a great setup. I mean, obviously, if you're talking about a Martin Scorsese movie and he did something like this, you'd be like, dude, get a fucking grip. But we're talking about a 90s sci-fi horror movie. You know, it's these is these, this is that, those are those. Let's move on and get on with the show. And I was appreciative of it.
See, what I like about it is the fact they very casually brush over the fact that Elijah Wood is having the worst day in his entire fucking life. He's been at school less than 3 minutes. He's been punched in the face and has got a bloody nose. He's been picked up, had his legs pulled apart and been rammed into a flagpole. And this whole montage ends with him sat in a toilet cubicle crying his eyes out. And I'm like, oh, no wonder he went to live in the Shire.
Oh, no, the life of a hobbit is so horrible.
Like it's so brutal, and the other character I really like is the new student, the
Heather.
most yeah, and she sounds like Heather too.
She does 100% sound like Heather Mary Beth Silman.
Yeah,
that's it, Mary Beth. That's the one. Yeah, and like I mean, we can talk about it now. We'll talk about it later. But the moment that happens later on with the pool stuff, I completely fucking forgot. Absolutely. You know what?
She has CGI nipples coverings, but other than that, she looks great.
Yeah, well, I completely fucking forgot about it, and I was just like, thank God my daughter ain't walked in on that bit because she keeps on coming up and down the stairs, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then I just thought to myself, Jesus, like, I must have had a lot of fun with this when I was a teenager.
The funny thing is, I own this on VHS, and I watched this like 2 weeks ago. And then obviously the lighting and stuff like that is very different to what it is now on remasters and stuff like that. Yeah. So like on the VHS copy, that scene is really, really darkly lit.
Yeah, I thought it was because I can't remember it being so light.
You can't see anything barring like sort of her face and the silhouette outline of her being nude. But obviously now I watched this again last night in preparation for the show, and I watched it on the TV in the house on streaming, and it's all very lit up. And they must have had to go back in editing and like airbrush out so it's just skin, no nipple, because it was weird. And I was like, she has no nipples. How strange. And then I went back again and checked on the VHS, and it's because of the lighting issue and adapting it onto 4K and Blu-ray.
I love the fact you doubled down and went to check on the VHS if her nipples were in the VHS. Like that's dedication.
Of course. Yeah, you have to do these things, don't you? It was more just the contrast of the scene, because I found it so jarring watching the Blu-ray copy of it on streaming. I was like, it doesn't look like that usually. Why is that different? And then I went back and I had to check, and it is a lighting thing. And as again, back in the day, quality of videos and stuff like that weren't as high end, even cinema screenings and stuff. So it was a shadow lighting thing. And now that the guy in the office who had the job to enhance this scene must have been like,
enhance.
Do we cover it? Do we not?
Yeah, we know horror has so many nipple conspiracies and controversies. So this is just another one that adds to it.
Also, the film debut of Jordana Brewster. Who plays the
was this before, what was it? Fast and Furious, was it?
For the family.
The family. It's for family. I really like how all of this comes together. I like the fact that you have a reporter and you've got Frodo is like her assistant and she's a bit of a bitch to him. Like the whole setup and like Frodo going and hiding and getting caught by the teachers, like, well, why are you out here, boys? Like, oh, I'm just trying to find somewhere. No one loves me.
I've got no fucking friends.
That's one thing I will say about this movie. I do feel like the stereotypes are slightly misguided, especially within Joanna Brewster's character, because she's not only the popular kid, the cheerleader, but she's also the news reporter for the school paper. And I'm like, those three things don't add up. And then throw in the mix that she's a complete bitch. I'm like, I feel like your character is supposed to be split into two.
Yeah, with the woman that's like the one that they are like constantly being a fucking bitch to, with the super greasy hair, which is obviously part of the 90s charm. She would be like more like lesbian. The person does the reporter stuff, you know what I mean, rather than someone like Jordana Brewster.
Yeah,
that's one thing I don't get about the ending, which we will get to. But why is she now like, oh, we saved the world, I'm no longer a goth?
See, I like her whole goth persona, and she's like, I'm a lesbian. And then when the new girl, Mary Beth, tries talking to her, she's like, look, I'm not a lesbian. It just makes people like you leave me the fuck alone. So leave me the fuck alone. Like she doubles down on being such an arsehole, and it makes me giggle every time because she's like, oh, you've sinned through my defenses. You're still trying to be nice. How do I say this? I don't like you. Leave me alone. It's
Yeah.
just like I wish I had that confidence when I was in like secondary school to be able to go, do you know what? I don't like you. I don't even want to pretend that I even slightly like you. So just go away. But I didn't. I was just like nice to everyone.
Yeah.
Well, it goes to like the strengths once again of this movie because it highlights. What's really interesting is that when you go back to movies like this, it highlights how shit movies today are. Because the problem is like,
Amen,
and I
brother.
talk about this all the time on like the podcast, and when we end up talking about movies from like the 80s and 90s, like. And I've already said, like, this movie does not ever feel overpopulated, but you've got so many characters in it. But they're all so well written and so well performed, and they all are, like, so fleshed out in the shorter spaced amount of time each character has on screen. Even though it feels like enough, there's probably some characters do get enough, like Usher, maybe. I don't know. But
he gets
but,
more.
I mean, no, he gets enough. But yeah, so, but when you start watching a movie like this, and it really makes you miss when characters were written so well, and characters, like, every individual person was an individual person, whereas now when you watch modern day horror, every character is the same as this character, and then that person's the same as the other character, and all these people now are just having the same sort of conversations about the same sort of things, whereas there's no like real like depth to. Like, what I love about movies like this is that there always feels like a before. And that's what is good writing. Like, there always feels like a before your thing. Like, you're not... Like when you watch a movie, you're given... Like, you watch that movie at that time where these people are in these situations. But good writing means that you always have the before. You always think about the before. You want to know about the before. Whereas now, I don't really give a shit about what happened to these people before. And most of the time, I don't give a shit about what happens in the movie at that time. Because most of the time, they're just there to die.
Yeah.
So it's really sad that, like,
cut out characters, especially in slasher movies, is more victim of it than anything else. I mean, take the latest Scream movie, for example. Scream 7, like, there is a lot of characters within Neve Campbell's daughter's friendship group, but every single one of them are so identical, barring the difference in race and sexuality, that the characteristics between each character is nigh on impossible to detect, you know, and that's one of the problems that modern Hollywood suffers.
And the two most different characters are the two people that they obviously had from the previous movies don't work in the fucking movie.
No.
Because it doesn't suit the movie. So, like, you've got these two characters that could work that you're like, oh, okay, it's enjoyable, but it's so badly written for the movie that they're just shoved there because they don't want to retcon everything that came before it. So they're like, we have to shove them in. But yeah, so you're right. I mean, that's the problem. I just wish that there was more consideration for creating characters, because that's the thing. You want to enjoy the journey that you're on with these characters, and you want to like these characters. And then if you do, you're more invested in the movie. But this is what we got so much of, like, in the 80s and 90s, where we were so, like, in love with these characters. I mean, fucking Billy Loomis and, like, Stu Macker are fucking horrible but murderous bastards. But do I fucking love them? Absolutely.
Exactly that. And the same with characters in this, like, even down to, like, let's talk about Famke Janssen or Famke Janssen.
I mean, like, listen, it's lucky you
I
can't
always
see
thought it was
any lower.
Famke Janssen, so we're all completely on a different field here.
Whatever we call the really fucking hot teacher who starts off really timid, like, one, as timid teacher, she should not. But I don't. I prefer.
No kink shaming here.
I do like women that are emotionally damaged.
Yeah. see, whereas I'm the other way. I like the woman that can emotionally damage me, where she goes through the term
with a paddle.
Yeah, but like her at the beginning, like, she should not be fucking teaching secondary school children. Like, she's going, excuse me. The kids are like, fuck you. You've got no
should
power.
Be a kindergarten with Schwarzenegger.
When she catches Zeke selling stuff out the back of his car, she's like, excuse me, could you please not sell stuff on school property? Not like it's not like stop selling fucking drugs, you little misfit. It's like, could you please not sell your drugs on school property? Like, you could sell it over there, just not here, please.
And he had so much sex with her. It's unbelievable.
And him pulling out the Magnum condom, he's like, maybe you need these
Dickhead. I didn't like this. Did not like this scene. And I thought it was just really rude. And like she said as well, she's like, that's just so rude. It is. And I felt for her in this moment. And I like Zeke as a character. And I thought, if this is your way of flirting, because it's very clear he's cut up by him being a dick afterwards because he likes her. And he shows that when they're talking about Crusoe and stuff in the lesson itself. But when he does this to her and humiliates her like he does, I just didn't like this scene. I just didn't think it was very nice. And I just thought, is this something that is a reflection of my personality, or is this something that's a reflection of the times that this movie was set
you're
in?
right.
I didn't like it. It wasn't nice. And I was just like, you're such a dick. And if I'd have been there, I would have punched you in the face for doing that to her.
The thing is, like, teenage boys at that sort of age, that is the sort of stupid dick thing they would do. I think it's written right for that style of person in that time period. Like, I could see someone in the 90s quite easily pulling out some condoms to try and make a really timid teacher feel uncomfortable. I could see that happening.
I threw a condom at a teacher's head, so
I don't think so. I think the level of emotional manipulation gone into him having to do that is something that I found very unrealistic for the character that he was. I know he's supposed to be this very intelligent person, but I just think the overall manipulation of him doing that to her didn't suit the character that he is based on the intelligence that he has. It just felt like something that maybe Usher's character would do, or, you know, one of the other bonehead jocks within the movie. To him to do that just felt off for me, and it just wasn't nice, and I didn't like it, and I was like, that was just not cool, man.
Speaking of boneheads, let's talk about the science teacher or the chemistry teacher or the biology teacher or whatever he is, and the level of fucking incompetence this man has.
And
so
he's like, isn't his name like Josh Stewart or John? Like, he's like a big
John
like
Stewart
in America. He's like a big like what is it, like political like person that does all these shows talking about politics and everything now. And
he has like a talk show and stuff like that. He's a big deal nowadays.
Yeah, but like Frodo brings him the weird dried up bug, and he looks at
foreskin.
Yeah, the foreskin, and then they drop it in the water, and like he's like, all these tentacles have come out of it. Let me put my fucking hand in with the tiny little plastic glove and touch it. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
it's not even after that. It's after that as well, though. He gets bitten by this creature that they have no idea what it is. And not for 1 second, they would be like, motherfucker, you need to go into quarantine.
Yeah, he's like, it's a brand new species. Like, oh, fuck, it bit me. Oh, well, I'll go bandage that up. Anyway, I'm just going to leave these here in the tank, and I'm going to go and call the university. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're such an idiot.
Well, it's one of those moments, isn't it, where it's like, if you don't do that, you don't have a movie. So,
but no, I mean, obviously with him, you can see that it's written with the purpose of dollar bills, ka-ching, 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 because they've already highlighted that the school's suffering from funding. He's thinking new species, university funding. Let's just fucking deal with it this way. But again, it's very unprofessional and very unscientific of him to interact with it the way he does.
Yeah, because the head teacher already addresses this at the beginning. She's like, look, we have no money for anything apart from sports programs. We're a football town. Like, the governors want us to be a football town. Our funding goes to the football team. They get whatever they want. All you other teachers just fucking suck it up. It's what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. The other teachers, I think, I don't know her name. I should know her name. Carrie White's mum in this, she plays another level of sinister. Like this scene where you've got Frodo and family lady hid in the closet in the faculty lounge.
I have to say something about this scene because I never fucking like, although probably when I watched it when I was a kid, I probably did notice it. And I'm sure you did too. But I know
exactly what you're going to say.
I spit my fucking coffee. I had a cup of tea and I spilt my fucking tea out because she goes straight into the room. And the first thing she does is chucks her fucking water over her face so fucking violently. And it caught me off guard so much. And I spit my fucking tea everywhere. Like I was in fucking stitches.
She's so good. I'm currently watching her at the moment because she's in Twin Peaks. I'm on season 2, and she dresses up as an Asian man in season 2. Mr. Fu Manchu, I think, or something like that. I can't remember what her character's called in season 2, where she pretends to be an Asian businessman, but she is absolutely brilliant.
She's good.
She's really good, and she owns this scene. Like they take down also Salma Hayek. They take down Salma Hayek, who is just casually in this film as the nurse. Like,
I
mean,
still
let's
sexy,
be honest.
even though she's
Talk
got
about a
snotty nose.
wasted opportunity with Salma Hayek in your movie.
I know, I'm fucking pissed off about that. They go fucking like Glam Famke Janssen. Imagine those two tag teaming. You know what I mean? Come on.
The thing is, with the dawn of AI and the advancement of AI, those films are now possible just with a simple command.
They
on
are.
the
They
internet.
can. I'd be in detention every fucking day with those two.
Yeah, she's the nurse as well. Be like, nurse, I'm not feeling very well. I've got a pain just on my inner thigh. Could you have a look, please?
Yeah. I've got a pain where on my dick.
But they take down her, and like the other kids, they run out and they go into the hall, and they've already got
mate, hold on before we move on. When they're in the closet, because I this was a spit out drink moment for me, and this is where I thought you were going earlier, BP. When they're in the closet and Joanna Brewster's there, and Elijah Wood starts sniffing her hair.
Oh yeah,
I
so
was
fucking
like,
weird.
this is the most heated moment you're ever going to be in, and you're using this as an opportunity to be a fucking creep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. They love hobbits love hair apparently.
See, this is why Samwise Gamgee's got better game than Frodo, because not once did he ever sniff someone's hair.
He's like Samwise says, "Get off my fucking hair, Frodo! Come on."
Yeah, I love this when they run out and the principal's there, and the principal's already been turned into one of these weird alien things. She's like, they're attacking her, they're killing her, and then like she comes out. She's like, yeah, we're gonna call your parents now. And this scene where the parents, like, could you imagine being a kid?
McGavin.
Oh yeah,
Gavin.
And
yes.
did you see the little? Did you notice the little homage to Shooter McGavin that Robert Patrick did? Yeah, he did. Like he goes like that, like as he leaves the room, he does it, and I was like, "You fucking did it!"
That's why I believe that the T1000 run was definitely intentional.
Yeah, and also like how fucking satanic does the like Shooter McGavin look with a goatee? Like he's just got bad guy written all over him.
Yeah.
If I was doing a horror comedy that had the devil, I would 100% cast him as the devil. I think he'd do such a good job. Like if you do Little Nicky 2, he could easily play one of the demons in hell, and I'd buy it. I'd be fully in on that.
Yeah, that's an evil looking goatee.
They have this moment where all of the like these mishmash of different teen characters come together. You got Frodo and Zeke and the goth girl, and they all have this realization where they're like, the teachers are all fucking aliens. And it's Zeke who's first like, fuck off, you dickhead. And this is where the science teacher comes in and tries to kill him. Like, this realization for me feels it's very forced. It's like they had to do it, and I feel like they didn't quite know how to do it.
There is two really cool shots in this scene, though. I wrote them down. There's really two cool uses of slow-mo. There's the one where Zeke, they have a really cool good shot of him where he's like, they've got like the paper cutter thing or whatever it is, and he yanks the thing off, and they slow-mo that. That looks really cool. And then when Zeke goes into the fish tank, and they slow-mo that as well. I mean, fucking slow-mo looks fucking great, like all the time. Like, you know, it's difficult to make slow-mo look shit unless you're really fucking bad. But if you add it in like really cool looking shots and moments. But that's the thing as well, is that every time I watch this movie, I always forget that it's Robert Rodriguez that made it. Like every single time I'm like, oh fuck, he did make it. And it doesn't, it's like one of those moments of films where it doesn't feel like a Robert Rodriguez movie.
Never.
But then you have like the moments like that, and you're like, oh, that's why it's him, because he has the moments of like that, like proper flair for filmmaking, and you're like, oh shit, this is cool.
Yeah. I mean, like I say that, but before you move on, Scott, like you say that you felt this scene was particularly forced. I don't know. I never ever feel that with this movie. Everything in terms of pacing and fluidity with the storytelling always seems to flow quite naturally and progressively for me. And this scene in particular highlights that more than ever, because he casually walks into the room and Zeke's being Zeke and being the loud, boisterous dick that he is. And he's like, oh, sir, listen to this. They all think you're an alien. and he
Yeah.
just has to close a blind like his cover's being blown, and it's like it felt very natural and organic to me, that the way that it played out. I didn't feel like it was interjected in a way at all in order to move on to the next step.
Yeah, see,
I'm right in the middle of the fence on both of you on this one, because I feel the same way as Scott, but then also with Mark as well. I'm right in the middle of the fence.
But the thing is, though, like, it's not that, though, because you know as well, like, they do a really good job of highlighting behind the scenes stuff. There is a lot of stuff on play in the background on a lot of these scenes, especially with the students as they start getting taken over. There's scenes with certain characters that you see early on in the movie that are very hostile and very aggressive and very sort of rah, 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 rah. But then as they see those characters appear later on in the movie, once they've become interjected with the parasite, they're very law-abiding, very happy.
Well,
like
you
there's
have
one
like
scene
the
in
couple that's seen
the
throughout
couple,
the whole
which
movie.
again,
He's
by the way,
guy
that
from Scary
couple,
Movie.
he is the guy from Scary Movie, and his missus is pushing him and pushing him on the bench. They replicate that scene in Scary Movie, and it was only this time watching The Faculty that I picked up on the fact that it was from where Scary Movie got it from.
do you know one thing we skipped over completely, and it's one of the most gross scenes in the entire movie, and the practical effects are fucking on point, is where the little old teacher who doesn't take well to the parasite comes in and hugs the jock. Why, like, she comes in towards
the
the
least
jock.
hunk worthy jock as well.
The thing is, like, he's a teenage boy. He's stark bollock naked. There's an old lady who's coming who started stripping, and his reaction was not to like run or call for help. He gave her a cuddle. He literally gives her a cuddle and pulls her in tight. And I'm like, there is not a teenage boy on this planet that would have given you a hug. Everyone would have gone, help, help.
Yeah, definitely. I ran away. But again, that reminds me of another scene that I think has been rewritten or massively overlooked in this movie featuring Selma Hayek's character. They highlight so frequently earlier on how ill she is and how she's popping medication, similar to what Zeke uses to make the drug that actually kills them. She's inducing this stuff like they're Tic Tacs. And then when they take her over, she just naturally becomes one of them. I'm like, surely you would have used the fact that the old lady's body was too old so that she couldn't take the parasite. Then the fact that Selma Hayek's character has been highlighted how ill she's been throughout the movie was an opportunity for you to then use a human host that was suffering with an illness. And I feel like it was something that was set up to go somewhere, and then they just decided to scrap it halfway through the writing. And it always bugged me every time.
I imagine there's a deleted script or some deleted scenes out there where they followed that through, because they definitely tee it up to do it.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
Also, I do want to say that, and like I said, the guy that plays like the jock, like American football guy, I do not fucking like him in this movie whatsoever as well. He just feels that he just doesn't ever feel like the right casting for me in that role.
No.
Yeah, I just don't. I just feel like there was always someone better they could have got for him.
I personally like him as an actor, and I think he's done some phenomenal stuff. He's currently in Ready or Not 2, which is out in the cinemas at the moment. But
as is Elijah Wood.
As is Elijah Wood, that's right. But one thing that I find interesting about his character is the fact that he's not only built to be the quarterback star player in terms of his physique, it's his switch and bait of deciding he's leaving the football team to pursue academics. He just doesn't suit the way he looks, and the way he acts as a character doesn't suit the story that he's trying to portray on screen, in my opinion. I feel like somebody with a bigger build and a bigger screen presence.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you could have probably swapped him and Josh Hartnett. Yeah, and it would have worked probably better. I think Zeke is a better character, and I think that's maybe why Josh Hartnett probably had a bit of pulling power and was like, actually, I want to be the role of Zeke.
Yeah,
you know, I reckon there was something there.
The jock guy, like, say if Elijah Wood wasn't in this movie, I always feel like that jock guy would have been better as the Elijah Wood character than playing the jock character. But then also there's that really funny bit that like really cements it for me, is the bit where you've got the buses and all the football players are chasing them through the buses, and he's there and he's got his like football uniform on, and he's like half the size as all these other fucking guys that are behind him, and Usher's just fucking moonwalking somewhere. I don't know what he's doing.
He's
just
popping
going,
collars.
"Yeah."
You notice Usher in various different scenes. He just pops on the screen and just goes, Usher, Usher. I really love the homage to the thing. I'm not even going to pretend that I don't. This moment where they all sit down and this like paranoia test, as Zeke's like, well, I've got cocaine. Let's all do cocaine because that kills them.
Imagine the thing on cocaine. That would have been so fucking funny. Like Kurt Russell sitting there with Keith David and that, and they're just doing coke, and they're like, "No, that's all right."
The thing is, it probably was when they weren't clicking roll.
They probably were behind the scenes. Yeah,
There's some B-roll footage where they actually shot that scene. I'm sure.
Yeah, you think that's snow on his beard? That's not.
No.
That's but yeah.
I do want to try his drug though. I'll be honest with you. It looks entertaining, especially when like Elijah Wood takes it and all the rest of them, and they just sat there laughing their heads off. I'm like, that sounds.
It's
like
that
a
bit
good
where
time.
he does that like weird, like it feels like it must have been ad libbed, but then he's laughing his head off like fucking Schmeagol style, and then he goes showdown or something like that, and that bit always makes me laugh. I'm like, oh, they should have cut that out.
He full on takes like a snort of it, and as soon as he takes a snort of it, he literally starts tweaking. He's like this. Oh,
yeah, like, I remember my first beer.
It's the quarterback who takes it as well, and I'm like, I've been you, dude, where he takes his and he's trying to act normal for a good percentage of the time when you can clearly see his mind is on fire. I'm like, you've experienced drugs, that's why you're portraying this as well as you have.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's doing the I don't want to talk too much because I'll get caught. I'm just going to be silent. I'm
just leaning up against the thing, and he's like, just proper tweaking his brains.
Like from here, like their decision making from here to like, I love the way that they work out how it works, and it's all from the goth girl. She's like, well, this is like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and in that, if you killed the queen, they all died.
Again, this is a Scream. This is a part of the Scream script that I'm talking about. That's recycled because she's Thingy's character from Scream. They don't have sex. Don't say I'll be right back.
She's like
it's
Randy,
Kevin Williamson recycling Randy, and she is the Randy character from Scream.
The thing is that the element of this I really like is this is not a logical plan. No sensible person is ever going to follow this plan. And then it dawned on me, they're all off their fucking tits on the cocaine they just snorted, and they've all just gone, it's a fucking great idea. Let's go find the queen. And it's not until when they get to the school, if you notice, when they get to the school, they're much less hyped up than they were when they left Zeke's house. And it's like they've got to the school and they're starting to come down and they're like, oh, do you know what?
This is a bad idea.
I don't know if this is the best plan we've ever had, but I love the monster reveal in this. I think practical effects monster looks great.
Great, yeah.
Yep.
Underwater CGI shadow monster looks great.
Yep.
CGI monster out of the water with tentacles flailing everywhere looks fucking dreadful.
I didn't mind it personally. I didn't think it was too bad. I really like the scene where it goes into the water and it swims across a pool and then transforms back into Mary Beth. I thought that was really, really cool. One thing that I have questions about, though, regarding the logistics of this is when she's there in naked form, her shadow is the tentacle monster. Yeah, and I'm like, why?
No sense.
I mean, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong. It looks fucking awesome on screen. You know what I mean? It's a really cool visual. But I'm like, why?
Well, I think that's exactly why, isn't it? It's pure the fact that it looks visually cool. And then Robert Rodriguez, some guy just comes up to him and goes, why are we doing this? And he's just like, look at it. And then like, oh yeah, I get it now. Cheers, boss.
And the thing is, like, while she's doing this scene where she is like naked Mary Beth and you've got the tentacle monster, this is where Zeke makes Frodo take more cocaine. Yeah. He's like, we've been apart for more than 5 minutes. You may now be one of them. So take this. Elijah was like, oh, fucking really? And then he takes it and he has another moment like in the locker room where he literally falls on the floor and has like a little like freaking out moment where he's taken the, like, could you imagine you're being chased by a giant alien and then you take some mind-bending drug? Like he was in an absolute mess. And Zeke's like, come on. He's like, fucking give me a second. Just let me finish tweaking out for a minute.
And also, I did completely forget, and I thought that this is really cool, is that I always forget every time I watch it that the gothy girl, she actually for that moment she is like she does become like one of them. And I think that's really cool writing as well. And I that was one of my notes. It's like I completely forgot about it. But you imagine like her being the one that's with them to try and like, you know, figure out how to do all this. But all of a sudden, she's gone from like being normal and like you've got the scene with like now she's sort of found a little bit of love with this jock guy. And it goes from like the normalization and then she just goes straight into like out of nowhere being an alien and then they lock her away. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. And that was like really good moment.
But it's a cool thing as well when they're doing the Thing homage and they're doing the drug test. It's like Joanna Brewster's character turns out to actually be one of them. But one thing that always confuses me is like, why is she there then?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, why the fuck is she there? Although they're like the really cool, like almost like Evil Dead-esque white eyes as well, and I always like that.
I do like it when they do that.
But you're exactly right. Like, why the fuck is she there?
Like I get it. I get like,
or is it like does she not know at that point?
Is she an infiltrator of the team? And she's like, I'll go with them and I'll be the undercover agent. And I'm like, well, there's plenty of opportunities you must have had between getting from the school to Zeke's house and being in Zeke's house where you could have maybe got another couple of them on board with you.
Or is it, so this is me like trying to create a scenario for them and create better writing. Is it that because Mary Beth is like the main one, is she like essentially like psychically or whatever telling Jordana Brewster that she has to be there to cover her for her? So she. But then
when they do the sniff test, and then Joanna Brewster turns around and be like, "I'm not doing it unless Mary Beth does it first," knowing full well that Mary Beth's a queen. I'm like, so why would you do that?
That's
well, she knows that she can like shove like nostril things up her, whatever, maybe.
Yeah, she can close her. Not that scene where the nostril closes. I think that's really clever. And she drops it at the bottom.
I wish I was able to do that when I was 18 years old. That would help my nose out.
Massive blooper on that. When Zeke hands Mary Beth the pen, the lid's already off, and then it cuts to her again, and the lid's on the pen. I don't know why that was important. I just noticed it this time around.
Maybe it came out her nose and went back on.
While we're throwing out stupid movie facts, Frodo's dad, who's played by Shooter McGavin, did anyone catch his actual character name in this?
Yes, he is Edward. No,
his name is John Connor.
John Connor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, John Connor. And then you've got John Connor and the T-1000 having a chat, which I just amused me, like for no reason other than you've done that on purpose. That's 100% on purpose. You are John Connor.
Yeah.
The bleachers scene where they close the bleachers on the monster.
Well, it's just a dumb fucking monster, isn't it?
Yeah, but not only is it a dumb fucking monster, but you've got to have some real. I would no way in the world would I be running down behind bleachers as they close. Fuck that. Like that goes wrong, you die.
No, we don't have bleachers here, do we?
No.
Not
we
like
have
in America, no.
No, we have normal chairs, like normal
chairs
people.
and a little fucking bench that you like struggle to sit on.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, like we done parents' evening at the little kids' school the other day. Honest to God, they gave me a chair that like not even one arse cheek sat on, and I had to sit there for 20 minutes talking to a teacher. And I'm sat at like this weird angle like that.
The chairs are so low that you're. Yeah, like the chairs are so low that your knees are in your ears.
Yeah, it's just the strangest thing ever when you go back to schools and you're like, "Oh, I used to sit at these when I was little," and then you sit on the chairs and the table, and you're like, "Fuck."
Yeah, well,
I'm a giant now.
Yeah, I'm a giant. Like, just start walking around the school like Godzilla. Fuck you.
The final death of the monster in this, like, I come to the conclusion that these monsters are slugs, and what is in those canisters is not cocaine; it's just salt.
No, well, they've already said it's caffeine pills, isn't it? Which caffeine is a dehydrating thing, and it's some other household products. Is basically what Zeke makes it out of.
And it just dries up, shrivels up. The same way when you tip salt on a slug, it just went, oh, fuck, and then crystallized and died.
Also, we skipped over the fact that Mary Beth gives herself away massively in this movie when she tips out the entire content of their supply of fucking scat, I think they call it in this movie. I was like, as soon as she did that,
just like, fucking get rid of it.
She throws it on the headmaster. I was like, yeah, it's definitely you, bitch.
Yeah, it's I find the ending's good, don't get me wrong, but what comes after with the 1 month later or 2 months later or what it is, that is better. I love this. Like, time has now moved on. They've like there's a government cover up where they've given some bullshit story if there was
Frodo's on Time magazine for some fucking reason.
Frodo's on the front of Time magazine and he's dating the other reporter. You've got the goth chick is now no longer a goth chick as she was with the jock guy. Maybe that moment where she actually become like a real gothy monster. She went,
well, we all know emo's for life, so you know.
Emo is for life. That's my
Emo
point.
is
This
for
is why I
life.
don't understand the transition. It just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, she's just a fucking phony. That's why.
Yeah, fucking fake bitch.
She ain't real. She's no real emo.
she's going to go back to it in her 40s. The end.
Here I am.
Right. Before you go, because what
I want to talk
Hey,
about
I'm a predator.
because
Yeah.
what the actual fuck? Like,
but Zeke's we've already established that Zeke's been held back a year. So at this point, he's like 18, 19 anyway. So technically, it's legal. So
Hey, I'm a predator.
I'm going to support this in every way that I can because he's living the dream, man. Just leave him be.
Yeah, I mean, Famke Janssen. I mean, I kissed my French teacher. So what does that make me, or what does that make her? You know,
that
what I
makes
mean?
her need a prison cell. That's what that means, my
do
friend.
you know what? BP,
Miss
do you know what?
Kennedy.
Do you know what? Do you know
Don't
what
say
that ma-
names. We don't want to make anybody liable on this show.
No, that's a good point. Well, I've said it now.
Do you know what that makes her?
Hey, I'm a predator.
It
Oh,
makes her one of
she
those.
can predatorize me as much as she wants.
So
Wow.
regarding sexual predators aside, what I do want to talk about is the absurdity of the ending. I understand the parasite has left. So
How did her head get back on?
And we see her put her on anyway. But then again, to be fair, when she's in the bleachers, she is wearing a scarf.
Yeah.
So maybe
She
that's her cover up. Because I do like Jon Stewart as well. He has an eye patch and like all his fingers missing as he tries to eat a donut.
Yeah, they do like. I mean, they're trying to cover their tracks. I think for me, like, I do love a happy ending, but also like, there's just I don't know. There's something a little bit too cheesy and off with the ending for this one for me. Like, I do like the ending and I do love a happy ending, but it just felt like it was. Like you said about something being forced earlier, I feel the ending's a bit too forced for me.
Yeah, but you see, I appreciate it because I feel like it's very cumbersome of what the movie actually is and what it's trying to
Yeah,
represent.
yeah.
It's just a silly, fun, good blockbuster movie. You know, there is no
Yeah.
reason for you to dive too deeply into it like we have done tonight. I know it's our job to do so, but what I'm saying is the movie itself is like, don't take this shit too seriously, you know.
And I always love how they
enjoy
always
it.
like they're like time is passed by because they always make people have different hair. Like Elijah Wood's hair is pushed back a little bit more rather than looking scraggly at the front and stuff. And you're like, oh, time has passed, and everybody's got more handsome.
You know, the only person who didn't have different hair is Zeke, and I'm going to hit you with a fact now. So,
Because it's the shittest fucking hair ever.
Josh Hartnett went through a phase that he called a controversial styling choice. This is his words.
Arrogant twat. That's what I call it.
For Halloween H2O and for the faculty, Josh Hartnett intentionally kept cutting his own hair and making it look worse because he thought that's what an authentic teen would look like. At no point as a teenager, when I was incredibly like conscious of what other people thought of me, did I take a pair of scissors to my own hair.
I've never.
mean-
cut my own. I mean, I cut my own hair now because I don't have any. But I never, as a young man, would I dare touch it. Not the.
I've
luscious
always
locks I
had
used to
like
have.
pretty much variations of different length of long hair that I've cut. So I very much so have always cut my own hair, but
You do have a bit of a Josh Hartnett haircut, to be honest with you.
Yeah, a
BT.
little bit, yeah. But I just I feel like there's something with like I feel like that's like the actor's arrogance. You know what I mean? Like I've always felt like it's just another thing for him to make himself stand out because you've got fucking shit hair.
Do you blame him for it though? Let's be honest. Do you blame?
Yeah,
him
I
for it?
fucking do.
Yeah, I don't, because we're still here now, fucking nearly 30 years later.
Well, that's the
talking
thing. I
about his
mean,
shit haircut.
it,
So he's obviously
it,
done
it
something
has
right.
like its own legacy in the world of
does.
horror. Josh Hartnett's Like it will go in like we've got so much like The Exorcist and things like this shit happening, and Josh Hartnett's hair is
There's
up there
dedicated
somewhere.
Instagram accounts out there to Josh Hartnett's haircuts. You know, the dude did something right along the way.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the way forward. Maybe I should start cutting my own hair every week, turn up with a different homemade haircut for the show.
Before you know it, there'll be like everybody at the horror conventions will have Josh Hartnett haircuts.
Don't. I'm going to keep my score the same for this. I think our discussion on it has not changed my mind. I'm still a 4.5. Mark, are you still the same?
I'm exactly the same. I know we've highlighted things throughout this movie that aren't great and things that have come to fruition in terms of plot problems and stuff. But I don't feel like the movie deserves a deep cut in terms of fluidity and stuff like that. You know, for me, it's just a fun, good time. And I stand by what I said. It's a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah. BP, keeping your score the same?
Yeah, I think what's always interesting about these sorts of movies is that what I'm more like, my opinion very rarely changes on these sorts of movies. Like even when I was a kid, you know, being obsessed with horror, being obsessed with movies, and of course like wanting to make them, it's like if I watch a movie and I like it for certain reasons. This is another movie where it's like I like it for a lot of reasons, but also it's really fun and so on. But what now with movies like this, what I find more interesting, because I always know how I feel about it. What I always want to know is how now the younger audience feel about these movies, and that's what really interests me, because I don't know what a younger audience is going to think of this movie now, and that's what I've always
I don't think movies like this hold up very well in terms of being introduced to younger generations of people, because they don't have the same familiarities that we do to music of the era, clothing styles of the era, you know, characteristics.
Also, the soundtrack. You know, I think the thing is great.
Soundtrack's fantastic.
Both aspects.
It's one of the things we mentioned earlier on about how the individual characters have their own personas within this movie. And I think a lot of that can be attributed to the fact that we didn't have social media back then in the 90s. Nowadays, everybody is the same because they see everybody do certain things on the internet. There's no individuality on who you are as a person growing up because you're just replicating what you see on screen.
Yeah, which is such a fucking shame.
It is such a shame, you know, but what I'm saying is it doesn't need to be that way in movies. Movies don't need to follow suit. They can still create individual characters to tell certain stories for us as viewers. But I think
they
in
can
the
be
real
so influential,
world,
can't they? That's the thing.
Teenagers are now
so influential.
Teenagers are all the same, you know, every single one of them. My wife's a dance teacher for younger teenage girls and stuff. They're all the same. You know, if they're into something one month, they'll dress a certain way. If something else comes about the following month, they'll dress a certain way. But when we were growing up, we had individual music tastes. We had individual movie tastes. And we would dress and replicate depending on our taste in movies and music, which wouldn't align with anybody else. But we wouldn't know about that until we all turned up to school the same morning. And there was different people. You'd either get mocked for it or people would be like, oh, that's cool. And then it had slowly become a thing where everybody fell in line with something that was a popular trend. But now, you look at your phone and you know exactly what you need to wear to school the next day because that's a hype movie or that's a hype music or that's a new cool dress sense, you know? And again, it's a product of its time. So in terms of whether this movie would hold up well to newer audiences, I don't think so, because I don't think anybody would be able to relate to it and they would pick it apart a hell of a lot more than we have this evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but that makes me sad though.
It's
like,
very sad.
You know, it's so sad because you're right. Individualism is really like gone out the window, and I think that's why and now you have people that get annoyed by people like us that talk about the individualism of the time of what we had and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, you talk about what you had, and you're like, yeah, but look at what we had helped create. You know, we were creating I no word of a lie. I am the person that I am now, the same as what I was when I was a teenager, you know, but now all these teenagers, like you're saying, you know, and not just teens, but, you know, young people and stuff like that. It's like now I can't even go out anywhere now because all these fuckers think they're in the fucking UFC. You know what I mean? And you're like, and they don't understand what it's like to take a real fucking punch. And I'm happy to give it to them. But they're like, it does my head in, and that's the problem. There is no individualism, like you're saying now. And I feel so sad. But also then, you watch movies like this and it reminds you of the time. It reminds you of the individualism of the movies, of you, of where you were at the time. And it's interesting because now it's how long before movies like this are forgotten, and how long before the movies of today, like as that goes throughout history, how much are they going to replicate what of those people that have grown up with those movies, and like how long before we turn back into like Planet of the Apes, you know?
Yeah, well, no one's going to forget. No one's going to forget
long.
this movie because we're going to remind them all. We've reminded them all about it. And speaking about being individual, we have voicemails. In fact, we have 3 voicemails, all for Mark, all from Heather. And Heather is very individual.
What have you done now?
I don't know.
Mark talked about Patrick Wilson for. Yeah, well, this is why you need to go to our Patreon and you need to subscribe to get to the extra show, so that you could literally tell us what to talk about. It doesn't have to be horror. It doesn't have, like we've done Lord of the Rings, we've done Star Wars, we've done action movies, we've done pretty much everything. And Dexter, Heather wanted us to talk all about Patrick Wilson, and we did. And this is what Heather.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing.
She's going to explain it.
Okay, I just want to say this. I've got about 20 minutes left of the Patreon bonus episode that I chose, Patrick Wilson. I feel like y'all could have talked more about him because, like, less talk about you, more talk about Patrick. But still, he's not wooden or one note. Mark, I don't know what the fuck your problem is, bro. Like, this is the thing. I'm glad that I don't live too close to you because I feel like I would set, like, little tiny fires in your yard or something. Like, I would probably harass you because I'd be like, what the fuck are you thinking? Yes, he played a weirdo, like, pedophile in Hard Candy, and she castrated him. Yes, duly, like, he deserved it. That's disgusting. But, like, that was so early in his career. It was like a kind of one of the first, not the first movie, but, like, one of his earlier movies. So I don't hold that against him. Sometimes people take on obscure roles like that. Also, it's not Ellen Page anymore. It's Elliot Page. Get your shit right. Yeah, but also continue to listen to the episode. But, like, Patrick Wilson is definitely, he's a good singer. There's a lot more things about him. And have you fucking seen him? That daddy is aging like a glass of fine wine. And, bitch, give me the whole bottle. Okay, bye.
But Heather wasn't.
Is there more?
Oh, yeah. We've got 2 more messages from Heather. So we'll roll through all of them, then we'll address everything as a whole. So here's what else Heather had to say.
Okay, I wanted to say, Mark, I probably said something mean in the beginning message. I'm sorry. Oh, I mean, I'm not actually sorry because it's just like our relationship. Like, we're like a brother, sister. I'm the older sister kind of relationship. That's how I view us. You were, I would say, literally 100% right on that quiz because, yes. It's like you do know me. I think you do know me. I think that's probably why you drive me insane because you do kind of know my personality enough to be able to guess men that I would think are attractive. Arnold, he's not physically attractive to me. You are right in that, but he is a cool, like, I like him in movies and stuff. Plus, he's kind of iconic. And George Clooney, yeah, young or old. Actually, George Clooney young is hot. George Clooney older, he aged like yum. Hello. But, yeah, Michael B. Jordan, Jesus Christ, I got pregnant. But I can't get pregnant anymore, but looking at that picture, I started to get pregnant. Yeah, 100%. So, yay, you redeemed yourself. Yeah, bruv.
We have what? We have one more.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, yeah. I also found it funny that you think I, like, wrangle horses in the morning when I'm getting ready. I guess 2 small children are like horses. They're wild stallions. And I also like the fact, Mark, that you were, like, channeling your inner Heather. It was like we were doing that scene from Ghost where I guess you would be Whoopi Goldberg and I'm Patrick Swayze because I'm dead. And you, like, I was entering your body, which sounds really weird, but, like, I get it. It takes a hot minute to channel my kind of energy. But anyways, yeah, again, thank you so much for doing Patrick Wilson. Maybe I'll get picked again and I'll find something else. I was because I was going to be kind of mean. I wasn't going to pick Patrick Wilson. I was going to do male pattern baldness. And then I was like, I think that's a little too mean. Okay, bye.
I think she completely misses the point of being picked to select an episode for the show. I really do. But again, this just completely depicts Heather as a person, right? Really, Heather, listen to me as I say this to you now. Don't call into the show until you've finished the episode. Please, for the love of God. The roller coaster of emotions we have all just been on just showcases exactly why you should wait till the end. There was rage, and then you realize the niceties I said about you, and you were just completely swooned by me. It's like, oh, Mark, you know me so well. I'm so in love with you. And then it went back into a weird rampage of rage again. Just wait till the episode's finished. Then call in and say what you need to say.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
one thing, fucking Patrick, whatever his name, what's his name? Patrick Wilson?
yes.
Fuck him. I don't even like him either. I think he's wooden. I think he's shit. I think he's not very good in anything. But, you know, so now she's going to hate me for that anyway. So I apologize, but I don't at the same time because he's shit. And no, he's not an attractive man. So there we go. But at the same time, when I was listening to it, it's so funny because it sounded like she was almost walking around like a school or like in a McDonald's somewhere. So now I'm imagining her speaking into her phone in a McDonald's or in a hall somewhere, walking around talking about Patrick Wilson.
I tagged Heather in the most relatable meme ever the other day, where it was one of those things where some guy, and it was like, it said on the screen, like, oh, when you think sending a voice note is going to be much easier and quicker. And then it's just some guy like on the phone talking a voice note, but then gets distracted by the entirety of everything in his house as he's making it. And it ends up being like 5 minutes long.
It's so true.
But on that note, we have some 3-word reviews. 3-word reviews you can get involved on all of our social media channels. All we ask you to do is review the movie in 3 words only. We have Mosley Horror, went with Thing teen version, which works. Dissect That Film, Space Slugs Attack. Johnny Ward Horror, is that Usher?
And he would reply, yeah.
Alex, AMP FX Studios, whose book is out now. You need to go and get his book. Really, really cool. He went, sniff this, please. Which works. Justin from Let's Talk Horror Channel with Horror Breakfast Club. And this is very reminiscent of the cast of Breakfast Club. And Pervy Becky, this girl loves horror, stuck to her true pervy nature, went with condoms, magnum sized.
Danny DeVito.
It is that wonderful time in the show. BP's probably forgot it was going to happen, but we have a quiz, and BP's about to take it.
What I earn in one hand, burning from the other. Every right answer rips another from my cover. I keep winning pieces I can't keep together. Bleed for the scoreboard, lose myself forever. Meltdown!
So that's it. It's time for Meltdown. BP, it's really, really simple. And for those of you who've not heard this quiz before, there's 10 questions. Every question you get correct, you get 10 points. If you pass or you get one wrong, you lose 15 points. So you could potentially end up in minus figures. Yeah, you could end up in minus. I don't think you will. There's a mixture in here. So there's some that are mind-numbingly easy to the point you're going to be like, what the fuck are you asking me that for? To questions that are going to make you go, oh, you're a bit of a prick, aren't you?
I'm going to be like that on all of them.
So who would you like to start the quiz? Would you like to go with Mark or me first?
Well, what happened? Well, last time I did the quiz, which is obviously different, I fucking aced it.
You
but
did.
Also, I genuinely didn't know that it was going to happen. Like, I didn't know how well I was going to do. This one, of course, I'm going to fuck it up. But I'm pretty sure that Mark's questions eased into it a bit better, and Scott's question, like, at the bat was quite difficult straight away, and I thought I was going to pass out. So we go with Mark, because maybe Mark might give me an easier start.
Okay.
You think so?
But, oh, for fuck's sake, I've mugged myself.
Right, let's get into it. Question number 1. In the Scream franchise, what is the fictional town where Ghostface's killings take place?
Woodsboro.
That is correct. Well done.
I got confused then because then I was worried because I started thinking about the Stab movies, and in case they didn't.
Right, don't listen. Don't overthink it.
Right,
don't
okay. That's my problem. I overthink
don't
it.
BP this quiz. Just answer the question as it's asked to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 points. Question number 2. Which horror movie was the first horror movie to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture?
The Exorcist.
That's correct. 20 points.
Good.
Well done. Question number 3. What is the name of the possessed doll that appeared in the 2013 film The Conjuring?
Annabelle.
Annabelle would have been fine, but yes, we'll take Annabelle.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I said it. I was so fucking confused halfway because you know what I'm like. I doubt myself on every fucking answer, so I'm like Annabelle.
Right, so you're on 30 points. Question number 4. Which 1980s slasher film features a killer stalking camp counselors at Camp Crystal Lake?
Friday the 13th.
That's correct. 40 points. You're flying through it.
Yeah, but now I feel like everything's going to catch me out.
It will do from this point on, don't worry.
Oh, fucking hell.
In question number 5, we have In a Nightmare on Elm Street, what colour are the stripes on Freddy Krueger's iconic sweater? And I need
Red.
I need it by the shade of colour.
The shade?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, fucking hell. I was genuinely going to start thinking. I was going to be like blood red and olive green.
I need the serial number that goes with that iconic colour palette.
543. Yeah, like red and green.
Oh, you were close. No, okay, you're right. That's right. Red and green.
Don't do that to me. Come on.
See, you're on 50 points. So at the moment, you're doing really, really well. You're on 50 points. If you keep going like this, you're going to have the top score and you're going to knock Kate off the top spot. Question number 6. What is the name of the fictional shaky cam documentary being filmed by the characters in the Blair Witch Project?
Oh, that's a fucking tough one, isn't it? Oh, blimey. That is tough, isn't it?
Not really.
Oh, well, is it? Unless it is the Blair Witch Project.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
That's correct. It is the Blair Witch Project.
Of course it fucking is.
Just getting in your head as usual.
Yeah. Literally, you have no idea how much I'm sweating. This is insane.
Question number 7. In John Carpenter's The Thing, which human character is the first to be assimilated or replaced by the alien during the events shown on screen?
Oh, I don't know his name. Oh, fuck. Oh, well, that sucks. It's the bald-headed ginger man that I don't know his name.
Do you want to take a guess at his name? Because we're going to need his name for it to count.
No, I don't know. Can
unfortunately, in my answers list, I don't have bald ginger man as one of the results.
No, he's the guy, and he's in the ground, and he goes and does that weird fucking sound with the long fingers.
Yeah,
no, I don't.
You're going to pass?
Yeah, I'm going to have to pass. I don't know his name.
Okay, that's the first one. First one to pass you down to 45 points.
Oh, fuck up. This is all downhill from here.
No,
it gets you at the back end of the quiz, mate. Honestly, I've done this already. It's horrible.
It's a tough one.
So, in the original Halloween, 3 different actors are credited as the Shape, Michael Myers. Nick Castle played most of the time. Tony Morgan provided his face for the unmasking. Who is the third credited the Shape?
I want to say Tommy Lee Wallace. I'm just going to say Tommy Lee Wallace.
That's incorrect. Down to 30 points. Mark, who is it?
James Winburn.
Oh, blimey. Do you know what? This is going to go... I will end up on fucking 0 by the time of this.
You've still got 2 questions to go. You're doing all right. You've got time.
You could, if you get both of these wrong, you are literally going to end on 0, which...
What did I finish?
That's the aim now. That's the aim.
Yeah, you ended up on minus, so you're
so
still
you're all right. You're still good to go, mate. Don't worry.
yeah, you're still on the with 0 points. You're still higher on the leaderboard than Mark is.
Which seems to be a running theme for this show. Don't worry. In question number 9, in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface wears 3 different distinct masks made of human skin. Name how one of these masks is credited.
As Pretty Lady or Pretty Woman mask.
That's all right. I'll take that. That's one of the 3 you could have gone for: the Killing Mask, the Old Lady Mask, and the Pretty Woman Mask. 15 points.
Doesn't look much like whatever her name is, Erin Brockovich woman, but
Yeah. I want that movie. I want Leatherface in Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman walking down the street with his chainsaw.
Gotta cut off your feet. Question number 10. So you're on 45 points. So if you get this right, you'll end up on 60 points. In the movie Candyman, how many times must you say his name in the mirror to make him appear?
5.
Easy.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why I know it's 5. 1, Candyman being one of my favorite films of all time. 2, it is something that still as an adult, I don't believe in it, but I do not want to risk it because I'm fucking terrified in case it happens. But also, I had a really funny story at college where we watch Candyman, and a friend of mine who I went to college with, he was just like, "I'll do it," and I was just like, "No, don't do it, just in case." I don't know why, but I was like, "Don't do it," and he's like, "I'll do it," and I was, "Do you know what? Fuck it, you go and do it. If you want to die, you go and fucking do it." So we went into the toilet in college. He came out and he's like, "Fucking done it, didn't die," all that sort of stuff. I saw somebody come out the toilet the same time as him, and I stopped him and I said, "Was he in there doing the Candyman thing?" And he was like, "No, not at all." And I was like, "You fucking mug." So he lied about it. He didn't do it at all. So yeah, 5.
The reason I'll never forget it's 5 is because I remember when I used to, back in the day, when the earlier days of the show, I didn't fact check my quiz answers. Do you know, if I ever got the opportunity to quiz Scott or something like that, and I did that question and I Candymanned him, and he said 5, and I told him it was wrong and it was 3.
3.
And I was fucking adamant. And I ended the quiz and everything, and that was it. You lost, ha ha ha. It turned out he was right, and I didn't fact check my answers before I went forward because in my mind it was 3.
It was 3. It's very easy to think that it's 3, but it is 5 because you think 5 almost is too long for the movie.
Yeah.
In your head, you're like, I'm not gonna I nearly did it then. But I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, in your head you're like, yeah, it's too much. But no,
it always reminds me of that funny scene in Ted where he's like, that's
Yeah.
it. I'm calling him in. He starts saying Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what powers you're messing with.
Yeah, he leans over and is like, "What the fuck are you doing? We don't want that guy up in here. He's going to cause chaos."
Best thing about the movie.
BP, you are on the scoreboard. I don't have the scores in front of me, which is really piss poor planning, but you are either first or second because Kate got 60 or 65. You're on 60. So you and Kate are either neck and neck tied or you're slightly behind her. But I'm going to, when we release this episode, I'll put the scoreboard up and I'll get all the score. I've got them just on another screen, not on the one I'm on.
Well,
so
I'll
yeah.
take better than 0. I'm happy with that.
You're
The
in front of
questions
me,
that I
that's all you need
didn't
to
get,
worry
I
about.
genuinely wouldn't have got. So they were tough questions for me.
Yeah, you've done really, really well. It's time for the VHS hunt. However, I have a slight problem in my panel where all of my sounds and stuff isn't working properly.
Well, why don't you and BP sing me in?
No, I've managed to make it work. So
like
it's
you're talking
time.
about-
That's a shame.
Yeah,
That is a shame. I feel like BP was ready for it then as well.
I've been doing Usher all day. Yeah.
He's the king of the spool, the lord of the stack. If it's on magnetic tape, there's no turning back. From the floor to the ceiling, he's a mastermind hoarder, keeping analog alive on the edge of the border. Rewind, right under the static flip. It's Mark, VHS from the crypt.
Hi. I wanted to have a little bit. You go steady with that, my friend.
What?
The show's nearly over, and you just next half a bottle of JD in that glass.
I just finished a bottle of JD in that glass. So yeah, it's fine.
I wanted to go for something a bit different this week, and I was going to accumulate loads of movies that I have in my collection that I would have accumulated to sort of the reference points of hit points in this movie that I thought would have worked well for me to showcase to you. However, as we've already mentioned early on in this episode, I am swimming in piles of shit. I actually have like delivery boxes over there that have some really, really cool shit in that I haven't even opened yet because I just do not have the capacity or space to be able to put them away. So they're there. In fact, I might do another Patreon video for those deliveries, actually. Anyway, by the way, this week we have the incredible The Faculty. This tape is something that I watch all the time. As I've said, it's a background movie. I put it on. I probably watch this as much as I watch Cube. And Cube is one movie that is always in my VHS player. I think I put a post out the other day saying how I'm scared that I'm going to burn the reel out on that tape because I watch it that much. It's something where if I come in here and I'm working, I will either put the Cube on or I'll probably put The Faculty on. To be fair, though, I'm not too disworried about burning this one out because it's quite an easy tape to obtain and the quality of this one is pretty shit. The cover's a bit burnt out. The tape itself's a bit fucking worn. But it's cool and I'm glad to own it. And I also like it because not many of the tapes in my collection do have this, but they started advertising stickers on the spines of tape
so much.
And this one advertised Adam Sandler's The Water Boy, which is cool.
The Water Boy.
And funny enough, this is a bit of a callback to the Blair Witch question we had. But the funny thing is the Water Boy came out, I think, the same year as the Blair Witch. And I think, or it was at the cinema over here at the same time. And I ended up buying a ticket for the Water Boy because I wasn't old enough for Blair Witch, and then snuck in to go and watch the Blair Witch.
That's cool. That's cool. Really cool.
That's
so
awesome.
hopefully next week I'll be a little bit more organized in here and I can do some more cooler stuff on VHS Hunt. But unfortunately, I had to wade through boxes to be able to find this for you this evening, and that was about as far as I could be asked to go. So you have The Faculty tonight.
That's a good pick. Gatorade.
Baba
Make sure
Bobby
you-
Boucher.
That was a good impression.
Make sure you go and follow Mark. He is at VHS from the Crypt on Instagram. He's also at Reviews from the Crypt, where occasionally, as the mood takes him, he reviews horror movies. But at VHS from the Crypt, he posts on there every single day, and every time he posts upsets me because he owns shit that I want and I can't afford, or if I could afford it, I can't find it. So yeah,
if I die, I will leave it to you, all of it. It's all yours, I promise. I don't plan on dying before you, and you're a lot older than I am, so I think I'm safe at making that guarantee. So if I die, it's all yours, my friend.
Whenever you post stuff as well, it really like that's the great thing about VHS. Once again, it's all nostalgia, like the side of it, and like the collection side of it is great, but nostalgia. But every time I always like it like even that tape, that Faculty tape, I had it, but I had it in the case that I had was a clear case. And I always remember buying them because Blockbuster used to do the X rentals for 3 for 20 quid. So I used to go in there and check the X rentals, but they had the big boxes like the Faculty one.
Well, that's
and I
all
remember that tape having that Water Boy sticker on it, and it reminds you of like all those times when you get 3 for 20. And I remember one time I got like 3 for 20 that had like American Psycho and something else in it and stuff. And that's, I mean, just the memories of like finding horror through VHS was just the greatest fucking time.
Well, just a little bit of information for you guys. If you are thinking of buying VHS in the future, always buy X-rental versions of tapes, because the reason why is because the spools and the quality of the tape itself is produced to a much higher quality because it's
longer lasting.
It's designed for constant rewatches and taking out and rentals and people renting it and watching it. It's not something that people would just buy as a retail tape where they'd probably watch a handful of times and it would just go on the shelf. So the quality of the build is much stronger and it's much more longer lasting. So in future, if you are looking at going down the VHS Hunt route, go for the VHS X rental option because you'll get a much higher quality tape, which is going to be outlasting the other stuff you'll pick up for a lot cheaper.
Yeah. So yeah, go and follow Mark. And now we're on to the telling people to go and follow people. You need to go and follow BP. He's Let's Talk Horror channel pretty much everywhere. In fact, I'm not even going to bother telling you. BP will tell you because this is his redemption arc. After I stumbled him at the beginning by throwing it on him out of nowhere, BP, sell the Let's Talk Horror channel to us?
Well, it's pretty much, I'm going to fuck it up the same as the start of it. I never know how to promote it because it's just, I mean, basically, it's available on any podcast platform. Basically, it's a podcast where we talk about the movies, but it's not just talking about the movies. Like, it's not going, like this, we're having proper discussions, not just about going, this is good, this is bad. In regards to the movie, it's really going into detail. I have like segments in it where it's like production info and stuff, talking about what goes into, because that's the point of Let's Talk Horror. I started it because acting and filmmaking is what I've always wanted to do my whole life, and my whole life I've loved horror, so it's a big part of what really started me wanting to do Let's Talk Horror, like now over 5 years ago. And it's about having conversations about the movies, but talking about why they're good or why they don't work or why they do work and what makes them work and the history. As well as that, I'm a huge buff for the history of horror. Like, if you ask me questions like you have, I won't fucking know them, but I like to know about the history of horror, and I put that into the episodes as well. So you've got the podcast that's obviously on YouTube on video versions, but also on audio platforms. I do live streams. I do a live stream on YouTube every Thursday night where I go through the latest horror movie news and then talk to people, as many people as I can about horror. But that's what Let's Talk Horror is. I'm just trying to do everything I can to, like you run, like trying to give this horror community a place to go, to talk about horror, to talk honestly about it. I have a Patreon where they have given me movies to watch, and every movie they've given me so far has been shit. And I talk about how shit they are. And it's really fun, but I'm still very honest about it. But yeah, I mean, just it's, as Scott said, Let's Talk Horror is everywhere. Like, it's on all the socials, YouTube, all that sort of stuff. I don't have, much following. I'd like to, but I don't. But if you do like, honest discussions about it, and things that talk a little bit more about like the creation process and stuff, then you might like it. Or you watch this or listen to it and you go, that guy's a dick, and then you won't.
No one's going to think that. And in the link to this, in the description of this episode, there's a link to BP Spotify, there's a link to his YouTube, and there's a link to his Instagram as well. So if you're incredibly lazy and you can't be bothered to go and type Let's Talk Horror into whatever platform you're on, if you literally scroll down about an inch on your phone screen, you can tap a link, it will take you there, you can click follow, and the episode will still play while you do that. So it's not even going to interrupt listening to the episode. So go and do that now. A huge thank you for you coming on, BP. Like, me and Mark love having you on. It's always a proper fun conversation with, no restrictions. I never, ever have you come on this show and we've said something and you've gone, oh, that made me feel a bit uncomfortable. Like, we talk about cocaine and like the teacher being a bit of a pedo, and you're like, oh yeah, my teacher was a bit of a pedo too. I kissed her. It was great.
Yeah, she was really fucking fit as well. It was great.
I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit concerned about what you've said tonight.
Yeah, well, the problem is that I'm the least intelligent person you'll ever meet in your life. I'm so fucking dumb that I don't think I have the capacity to agree or disagree with things that are right or wrong, because I'm just so fucking dumb. I don't know. So, people can say fucking.
Say that, mate. I wouldn't say that.
Well, you've never met me in real life. If we ever meet in real life, you'll meet me and go, he's fucking dumb as fuck, isn't he?
Why is that dude cutting his hair like Josh Hartnett?
Make sure you go and give BP a follow. Also, make sure you follow Mark, and make sure you follow us. We're going to be back next week. Next Tuesday, we have a very special episode because it's my poll pick. I picked all the movies in the poll, and you dickheads give me a tie in my own movie poll, which meant I get to pick something even more insane. So next week, we have one of two movies that are currently being polled. It's either my wild card pick, which is The Devil's Rejects, which
I feel like is more my movie than it is yours. So I'm hoping that wins.
It's a wild movie. And the other option that we may have is The Burbs.
I've never seen The Burbs.
What? Yeah. I just nearly fell off my chair. I mean, we recently covered that as well. It is. Do you know what? I would be really interesting to know what you think about The Burbs. The Burbs is one of my favorite horror comedies of all time,
and I feel like it would be mine as well. But it's one of those movies where I'm like, I'm waiting till I get it in the collection.
Yeah,
it's quite a hard tape to obtain.
It's very, very fucking weird. But if you like Joe Dante movies, or Joe Dante movies like Gremlins, and you love the quirkiness, the weirdness of Joe Dante, then The Burbs might be all right. But this is what loads of people don't like, The Burbs, because it's so different to what you think it's going to be. But it's one of my, also, if you like The Cable Guy, it's a bit like that. Where
Yeah. That's kind of the vibe I'm expecting from it. And I want it, and I want to own it. Do you know what I mean? But it's one of those where, like, I feel like if I've watched it, I wouldn't justify the price tag I'm going to have to pay to own it. So I'm just hoping that it'll come up on a decent lot, that I can just get it and buy it and be like, bang, it's in the collection. Now I can sit back and watch it. So that's the reason why I'm holding off on The Burbs more than any other.
Well, I'm looking forward to knowing what you think about that one.
Yeah, so Mark may not be holding off on The Burbs. So next week...
No, obviously, if I have to do it for work, then no, of course.
It is either The Devil's Rejects or it's The Burbs, which unfortunately, down to our piss poor planning, means if you want to be prepped for next week's episode, you have 2 movies to watch this week. Go and watch The Burbs and go and watch The Devil's Rejects. And until then, have a wonderful week, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Hasta la vista, baby.
You want to die tonight?
You're on podcast. You're on podcast. Late at night, I tune into your show where you talk horror with a unique flow. Your voice is like sirens, draws me in as you pick apart movies on murder and sin. Scott and Mark set the scene. I hang on every word, lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's fucking long round up. Round up, round up, round up, round up, round up. You're on podcast, horror movie review, sharing facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after you fled. You're on podcast.